All right, hi guys. I guess we're starting. I thought we were all gonna go through different segments, but well, let me introduce myself. My name is Princeton Colatita. From Jemez. I am Sun Clan. My mother's on behind on my left side is my mother. Her name is Antonita. Her Jemez name is Tolep Omini, a bird that we have in Jemez, that kind of like uh, something similar to like a rockwind or a mockingbird. So her name refers to. And the one that's fixing my hair is my older sister. Her name is Kathleen Sandia. And what's her Indian name? Her name is Space Up, or meaning the sun's road. You know, like the sun has its own path, right? Like right now it's on its path. That's what her name refers to. It's the sun's path. The Space Up, or meaning the sun's path, you know, his road. And my name is Thunder, Ginetun. That name was given by my grandfather to me. What it represents is thunder when you hear. So my hairstyle is from Pueblo of Jemez. The hairstyle that you see is in the bun. It's more common among all Pueblos around in Hopi, Zuni, and along these Pueblos to here, up to maybe Cochiti or so, because Oke, Winge, and those Tewas up there, they have a different hairstyle too, you know, they braid their salve on their side, you know. But mine is from, like I said, Jemez, and the meaning of our hairstyle before our hair goes up, it's normally long, you know, and what our hair represents long life. You know, it takes time for your hair to grow, and it also represents long life. And then at the same time, when it rains and all that, your hair gets wet, you know, the moisture, so it drips. So if you look at it from the back, it represents rain, just like the rain you see in the distance away, you know, from far away you see clouds and you see that, what they call, there's a name for it, Virga, yeah. So that's what our hair represents. So every time we have traditional style of like ceremony going on, our hair is unloosed and it's untied and it hangs down. And that what it represents is moisture and also long life. So when we put our hair up in this style, it's more like to keep it out of our way so we can, you know, work on things. In summertime, it helps to keep our head cool. So I have never had long hair until 2000. So when I started growing my hair, my grandfather, he always had his hair long. My grandfather and grandmother used to always fix their hair together. You know, my grandfather would sit down, my grandmother would fix his hair out there. So what we have here on display, this right here is an old traditional style of brush. This is what our ancestors used to brush their hair. You know, you see this in a lot of these old pictures. So with this, then our string usually is made out of cotton, you know, because they used to raise cotton too. Also, cotton is used a lot in our ceremony. You know, it's made for the man's kilt, the lady's manta, and for ceremony like pear feathers, it's used. Then after that, the art of weaving came about. Then this is what we use to tie our hair. So most Pueblos that you see will have this type of string tied on their hair, you know. To make us different than the Navajos is that they use their wool, you know, their type of yarn, you know, to tie their hair. So this is more of a Pueblo style belt that you'll find, you know. And the technique that she uses is just basically wrapping it around my hair and keeping it all together. So a lot of like ceremony times we'll have our hair tied up like this, or, you know, like everyday living, you know, we'll keep it out of our way. To look back at my grandfather and my grandmother, they would have their hair up for about at least 4 to 5 days before they refixed it again. And before they even fix their hair again, they would wash their hair in yucca soap and water. But nowadays, how sensitive our body is compared to old people, you know, I would say nowadays our young Native people, even myself, were much delicate than our ancestors because with the yucca, so some people get allergic reactions from it. Some gets itchy, but nowadays, you know, we just wash your hair and we dry it out. And what I learned from these old people, like when they talk about Indian ceremony, like the gallop ceremony, they used to say that they used to put their money in here. They used to hide their money in here, and then they used to always watch out for each other because somebody would just come and cut their whole hair out and take off with their money. So this was some kind of wallet, I guess, back in the old days. So, and then right here, like I said, this is our traditional type of brush that we use. I do not know the particular name of this type of sage or grass. I only know it in our language. I never really took the time to go find out what the English term of it is. But we call this in our language sela, meaning a broom. This can be used for your hair, and also it's used to clean up inside the house. And then this is also used to string. People would, like in Hopi, when they make their piki, they would use this to string their ashes to. They'll flare out like that and then let the water run through it, and this is how they would string it. So this has a lot of purpose to it. And then the way I'm dressed up right now is more like a farmer outfit, you know. We really didn't have ribbon shirts and stuff like that, but that belongs to like the plain Indians, you know. Their attire dressy, you know, ribbon shirts. Our custom or tradition is with the man's kilt, you know, and then we have like a beach cloth, you know, underneath that. Before we started dressing in these type of clothes, and after we started getting these clothes, we started wearing white pants, you know, traditional white pants, and then this long sleeve for our field work, you know, from the bugs and flies and all that to, you know, not to get to our skin. What I have on me right here is a bow guard and a shell. Normally, the ancestors, before jewelry came about, fashion, you know, jewelry of art, before this came out, it was just a piece of leather that protected our arms from the bowstring, you know. And on this side, it's the same concept, but we use the shells. See, here on the Southwest, we live on the desert, you know, and a lot of our tradition has to do with moisture and rain, something like that. So the shell comes from the sea, and there's a lot of water there. So this is what, you know, we collaborated with that type of thinking, and we just made it into one of our one of our regalias, I guess I could say. So, and then turquoise is what we call is a very lucky stone to us Native American. You know, people look at silver, gold, brass, and the other type of metal material for treasure. But us Native, turquoise is a very lucky rock for us. So that's basically how I'm dressed. And then my moccasins, you know, traditionally made out of skin, you know, from what we kill, our deers and elks and hunting stuff. And it kept our feet, you know, from not, you know, callousing up as much as, you know, we can run through storms and get away. So it's, you know, helps our feet out. So basically, that's what I had to display on myself as Jemez Pueblo. And we're no different than Zuni, Hopi, and among some of these Pueblo are religion and beliefs. It's just that we have a different kind of hairstyle, and it's pretty much similar for the rest of the other Pueblos too. So thank you. This leather right here was given to me by my grandfather a long time ago, you know, and he made this, and the thing was that I had this piece of leather for a long time, and I wanted to learn how to make this. So my first project, I went to my grandfather's leather and then studied this type of weaving, because it's kind of like a weaving right here. And then that's how I went about making this. This is my first bracelet I ever made.
in the day, and what it does is basically holds the hair in place. Yeah, so we just pull it down. But each time we wrap it around, we want to give it a pull. Nice tight on it, and then just go around itself. Kind of. Because all you're doing is creating like that hair tie, and then what I do is I use this is kind of like our hair tool that we used back in the day, and what it does is basically holds the hair in place. Yeah, so we just pull it down. But each time we wrap it around, we want to give it a pull. Nice tight on it. The tighter you pull, the more better results you'll get. And then you just pull it out. And then you just wrap around. And for us, for Hopi, the hair represents, bringing down that moisture for the plants, for ourselves, and for the men that only given their planting season. That's the only thing that's given to them in life. So this kind of represents that. This is kind of like our hair tool that we used back in the day. And what it does is basically holds the hair in place. Yeah, so we just pull it down. But each time we wrap it around, we want to give it a pull. It just depends. It just depends on what color his hair is. So the hair depends. Again, like I said, his hair is black, and then when he gets older, he already has his white stripes coming in. So when his wisdom hair, we'll say wisdom hair. So like it really represents, like I said, like just bringing down that moisture and the hair, the sideburns. The men and the ladies do that too as well for both Hopi. And it's just like representing, being close to Mother Earth in a way. So what we do is, just create that hair tie that's going to be holding it in place. And then again, we get our stick. And then we just wrap it around our little hair. And this is passed down from generations to generations for men and women. Women is dealt a little bit differently for Hopi. It's wrapped around the same way. We have to make it. The only way, to make it. So it's made out of wicker. And so what they do is that they boil. They boil the stick, and then they shape it. They shape it into the form of the U shape. So they go around. So that's all it is, and then you just tie it. And we call these our little semiviki buns, the blue corn. So we like to tease around saying this is our little semiviki buns. On the women's hair too, it's the same tool. This is for Hopi and Navajo. It's kind of like the same similarity traits. If you can tell with the hair buns, it's the same. The only difference is the sideburns, the sideburn cuts. It's Hopi.
This is the French braid. This is the braid we do when we're dancing the basket dance. And the basket dance, the reason why the women wear their hair like this is when we lived up in PUEBLO, this was our natural hairstyle. And when we moved down into Santa Clara, Pueblo, the men wanted the tradition kept when we did our basket dance. So this is the reason why the hair stays like this. Yes. Yeah, you just take a little bit of hair every, it's just like a regular braid, you just take in a little bit of hair. And it's tight. My grandma used to braid our hair when we would dance, and that was tight.
That's what I always thought of with help.
Well, my grandma was the main one that taught me a lot. She raised me since I was little. She was always saying different things. She was like, your hair is your thinking. So it's like representation of brain and thinking. And then I was like, I don't know, I was never taught that, but I heard people say that. So I was like, okay, you know, I just pick up things here and there. So, you know, different tribes have different colors, but my grandma, in our culture, we always try to keep it white just because white represents a lot in our culture. Because you have like white shell, white corn, and white is used differently. And in our culture, we think this as the sun ray, shabuto. So you have the rain, and then you have this. Some people say differently. I've heard someone say that they were taught it was natsilid, like the rainbow, and then some others say it's like shanding, like the sun rays kind of thing. So I've heard different things, but what you're doing is you're wanting to do it clockwise, and I like to do it 2 times. So it takes a while. Like I haven't made his hair yet, so that's why I was like, oh, it's gonna take a while. Kind of figure out like maybe how it'll come out.
Yeah, we have to.
How my grandmother taught me is that you always tie it at the top. The knot should be at the top and it shouldn't be at the bottom. And your hair tie should always be white. I mean, because
That's how the holy people, since we're children of the holy people, identify us as being Navajo or so. So he's Zuni and I'm doing the Navajo style one.
Oh, did you do that? That with the sand? Well, I'll tell you, I took statistics. First, I was anthropology, then I went to psychology, then I went to sociology. But during my psychology, sociology term, I took statistics. I couldn't pass, could not get it. And finally, I had the school teacher straightforward. He said, here's the deal. You drop out right here, you get a Native Hairstyles. Other than that, and I said, I'm going to. Well, one of the reasons I couldn't figure out how they did it. I wanted to know how many crazy pieces. Oh, I didn't want to know what the barrier was. Who's median, who's that?
You want some dark yarn?
Oh, did you do that? That with the sand?